If your business feels harder than it should, there's a really good chance you're not building it around who you actually are. You're building it around what you think you're supposed to do. And this is where a lot of agents get stuck. Not because they're lazy, not because they're not capable, but because they're trying to force a version of success that doesn't actually fit the way the Lord wired them. All right, what would this podcast be without a Christian dad joke? Moses is wandering around and he finds the burning bush. He looks closer and sees that while the bush is clearly on fire, it is not burning up. He just can't believe his eyes, and in his amazement, he says, "No way!" Then a voice comes from the bush and says, "Yahweh." So I want to give you a simple framework I created today. I call it the authenticity framework, and it's 5 steps: discover, eliminate, align, act, and reinforce. It's an acronym, D.E.A.R, D-E.A.A.R. And if you can get this right, your business doesn't just grow, it actually starts to feel lighter and easier and more fulfilling. The entire point of this framework is to align ourselves and our business with the way the Lord wired us, because He uniquely wired you and gifted you in a way that He wants you to build the business, not in a way that makes you look like everyone else. I wish I could show you this picture of my mother-in-law standing next to one of her best and closest family friends, Mr. Jensen. My mother-in-law is 5'2". Mr. Jensen is 6'10". And for me, I'm 5'6" 3/4. And when you're 5'6", the 3/4 matters. Well, I remember going to visit Mr. Jensen with my wife one day, and he wants to take me into his office and show me all of this awesome sports memorabilia that he's collected. And it is amazing. But that's not what I remember. I remember being in his office, and Mr. Jensen works at a standing desk. And he's so tall, I could literally walk back and forth under the standing desk without ducking. And I remember that moment hitting me, first of all, thinking, how are we the same species? But also this reality that so much of our lives, and certainly in our business, we spend the time and we say, why am I not 6'10"? I could have been a basketball player. I could have been a football or baseball or whatever it is that I wanted. I could have done these things that required height. Why am I not that way? And we either end up just sitting there frustrated that we aren't that way, or trying to act like the 6'10" person anyways, as if we were wired to do those things. Instead, we should look inside and say, okay, who did the Lord uniquely create me to be? And what does that mean my superpower is? Now, of course, if I played Mr. Jensen in basketball, he would dominate me every time. But I guarantee you, I would beat him in hide and seek. Right? So the whole point of what we're talking about in this framework is not trying to be what the industry says or trying to be like everyone else, because you weren't created to be like everyone else. It's to understand who did the Lord uniquely wire to be, and then pursue being excellent at just that. That's your job. That's how we honor the Lord in this business. So this framework, first, you're going to discover what actually brings you alive. And this is where we start. It's not where most people start, right? Most people ask, what am I good at, or what makes money? But that's not the right question. Instead, I want you to ask, what gives you energy? What feels natural? What would you do even if no one told you to do it? And to make it practical, look at your last 7 days in all the work that you did. What did you love to do? When did it feel like time just flew by? When did you maybe feel most like yourself? Because in my experience, energy is the signal of authenticity. It's not random, it's a clue. When we pay attention to something that gives us energy, that's a clue that maybe the Lord wired us that way and He wants us to do more of it. All right, number 2, eliminate what is not you. So now we flip it, and this is where we try to get real, because I think you already know what's not you. but you just keep doing it anyway because we are a copycat industry. You're cold calling when you hate it. You're posting on social because you feel like you have to. And we're following the shoulds of this industry. I should do that. I should do this. But instead, I want you to ask the question, what do I really dread doing? What feels forced? What am I doing just because quote unquote successful agents do it? Because I've learned that inauthentic actions drain energy and they destroy consistency. Every time you act out of alignment, it creates a leak in what I call the hope bucket, the belief that you can actually do this. Our buckets have lots of holes and are leaking all the time. So why do we wonder, why is this so hard? It's because we're acting against our nature. Closing day is a win for you, but for your clients' kids, leaving their first home can be a tough transition. As realtors, we don't just sell houses, we help families find where they belong. That's why I love We Are Home When We're Together by Gene Stauffer and Grace Start from Magnolia Network. This beautiful picture book helps children embrace the change of a move. It's the perfect, meaningful resource to recommend or even include in your next closing gift to show you care about the whole family. We Are Home When We're Together is available now on Amazon. Order a copy today. Your clients and their little ones will thank you. Third, I want you to align, build around who you actually are. So now we shift because the question is no longer, how do I do more? The question becomes, how do I build a business that actually fits me? And that's a totally different game. Because when you understand and you look and you say, this is who I am and how I'm wired, these are the things I love to do. These are the things I don't love to do. If you want to dive in a little bit more to unpack that, go listen to the episode I did a week ago on the 4-box framework. But we build a different game, and we're playing a different game because we're building a business that actually fits how you're uniquely wired. And we start choosing models that match us, structuring our time more intentionally, and even defining success on our terms, the way the Lord gave us skills. We should use those to his glory because alignment creates sustainability and alignment creates opportunity. I don't really believe that most agents need more hustle. I believe agents need more intentional fit in their business. Are you doing the things the Lord wired you to do? 4, act. I want you to double down on what works because a lot of people mess up here where we try to do everything, right? I've seen it many, many times. 10 strategies, 10 directions, 10 versions of lead generations, 10 versions of themselves. But you don't need more options. You really just need more focus. So I want you to think about, as you unpack what is authentic to you, how did the Lord make you? Do you love cold calling? Great. Do more of that. Do you love social media? Do that. Do you love relationships? Do that. Do you love open houses? Do that. The Lord gave you that affinity for those things. You don't need more options. You just need more focus on more focus on 2 of the 3 things that actually fit you. And then the simple rule from there, I want you to expand what energizes you because the Lord gave that to you, and I want you to eliminate what drains you. That's it. Expand what energizes, eliminate what drains you. Because at the end of the day, we're just paying attention to how the Lord created us and trying to move in a direction that honors him by the way he wired you. But finally, clarity is great, but clarity without action doesn't change anything. So I want you to do the final piece of this, which is reinforce. It's the part nobody talks about because even if you get this right, you will drift. If you get it right and you write it down once, that's fine, but you're going to drift. We all do that, right? You'll get pulled back into busyness and comparison and more. So I want you to have reinforcement. Set a time in your schedule to block 10 minutes every week and just reflect. Am I actually living out and building a business that reflects the way the Lord wired me? Look at your calendar. Where did you spend your time last week? So in this 10-minute block, you just reflect, am I building the way the Lord wanted me to? Question 1. Question 2, look over your calendar. Part 2, look over your calendar. Where did you spend time? And is it true that you're focused on building the way the Lord wants you to? And finally, check your priorities. What did you say yes to? What did you say no to this week? Because authenticity isn't a decision, it's a discipline to understand this is who I was wired to be, and I'm going to go pursue that. So if your business feels heavy right now, there's a good chance it's not because you're doing too little, it's because you're doing things that don't actually fit you. The good news is you don't need to become someone else to succeed. You need to build something that actually fits who the Lord already wired you to be. And friends, if you want help building a business that actually aligns with your life, I hope you will join me in my Make More, Miss Less Accelerator coming up this week. We're going to spend 3 hours together, side by side, actually building this out, understanding how the Lord made us, but then turning that authenticity into an actual business strategy. Because I want you to make more money and miss less time at home, and we're going to do that together. So go to faithfulagent.com, check it out. It's $97. You can use the promo code podcast and get half off. And the only reason it costs money is because I know if you pay attention, and I know this can change your life. Go to faithfulagent.com, register. I'd love to walk through this with you and actually build a bigger, better life that not only helps you make more money, but glorifies God and frees you up to be with the people you love. I love you guys, and I'll see you on Thursday. Hey, Christian Agent, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If it resonated, would you take 30 seconds and share it with another agent who's also trying to grow their business without losing their faith, family, or peace? That's how this message spreads. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. I release new ones each Thursday to help you build success that actually lasts. It genuinely fires me up knowing this podcast is helping you pursue excellence to the glory of God, both at work and at home. I'll meet you back here next week for another episode of The Faithful Agent.